Hey guys and gals, welcome back to Comic Book Coloring Tips and Tricks. This is Nathan, and I believe this is episode 31. And in this episode, we're going to be working on some wet skin type of look. So yeah, if you're new, thanks for checking out the channel. If you've been around for a while, I really appreciate your patience. As many of you know, I've been gone for quite some time and going through life stuff, and yeah, I'm just trying to get back on track with the YouTubes, and doing some more color stuff, comic book coloring and stuff like that. So, all right, so wet skin. What we have here is an image from I think it was Wildstorm swimsuit special number 1. It was like a wraparound cover, where this here was like the front cover. It was by J. Scott Campbell and Tim Townsend. So first of all, let's talk about reference. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's comic coloring. It's not, digital painting. I don't need to look at real life reference, or whatever. But I say hooey to that. If you want to see what a car looks like, when you're coloring cars, and downtown New York and Spider-Man's flying overhead, you want to get cars colored correctly, look at some cars and how the lighting hits them, So let's go ahead and pull up. And it was unbelievably difficult to find safe images I could show you guys of wet skin. So here's a couple. So what we're looking at here, so we're looking at this strong specular highlight. And you can see from the way the light is bouncing off the pores, you get kind of a speckled type of look, going around on the edges here. And, it's really, the specular highlight is really, really hot, really narrow. The light is really focused on just those areas because it's the light reflecting off of the skin because it's wet, is what we're looking at. And here's like an outdoor shot. Sorry, I forgot the sniffles. Since we moved back to Texas, like the allergies are really starting to get me again. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so again, what we're looking at is like getting these. You can see. Let me get a red brush going here. Oops. Yeah, hard brush. And a new layer. So we can tell from the lighting, we got like the sun coming down here. It's hitting her here, 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 but her breast here, and then on her stomach here. So you can see like these really, really bright highlights. And then again, speckles out, as the light reflects off of the pores of the skin. So that's the that kind of look we're going to be going for. And here I have the skin colored on Roxy already. So we'll go ahead and do a new layer. And for me, like the quickest way to go about it, let's get like a soft brush. And when I'm picking my soft brush here, it's going to be the same one that comes with your default Photoshop. There we go. It's going to be like, one of these guys. I just have it set to 30 and, I don't think I messed with the hardness or anything like that. But let's go to the mode. Let's put it up to dissolve here. And what we'll get here is kind of like an airbrush type of look. Let me zoom in so you can see that. So you can see it's just right throwing pixels. And that's the kind of look that we want. And it's going to give it to us pretty quickly. But let's throw on some shape dynamics on that. And let's just go straight to white. So if you're not sure how to get to white, just hit like D for your default colors. It'll be black and white. And then you can hit X. And that'll switch those colors around. So you can see that. Alright. So let's get this, shrink this down to like a nice size. And we'll just start adding in these little highlights. Okay. Then, she'll have like a little bit on her nose, a little bit on her face. We're not going to go too crazy with this first round. because we're going to be like slowly building it up. And then, you know, she'll have like a little bit going down her arm here. And again, you know, even though it's going to, like, the sun is in back of her, and we're kind of indicating that with this rim light, you know, but let's just say, you know, she's doing an actual photo shoot on the beach, and there's somebody on the beach with a reflector reflecting the light back on her. And that's what, you know, is causing the reflection. I know the lighting isn't 100% appropriate, but it very seldom is in comic books. You know, you have like purple lights and whatever that doesn't occur naturally. So, you know, we can have fun with it. And okay, so again, I'm just kind of really adding where like the next level of highlights would be. All right, so let's see. We got that going. All right, now what we're going to do, let's go to our filters, right? I'm going to go to blur, Gaussian blur, and that's way too much. Let's go down to, I think, 1. 1 looks good. We'll go to an eraser, and let's go down to a soft eraser. And again, it's going to be like the same, you know, basic eraser, that's, you know, soft eraser that you can find in Photoshop. So don't be worried about like you don't have all my 20 million presets. I'm meaning to go through those and kind of pare them down a little more. So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of erasing very slightly on the edges. Let me get a new layer so I can show you actually what's happening here. So I'm back on my hard brush, right? We'll go here up in the sky where it's easy to see. Oops, nope, that my soft brush, sorry. Let me get my hard brush. So this is what, say, like we have, and I got my soft brush, and I'm just kind of going in, you know, just very lightly on the edges, letting the pressure sensitivity on the Wacom or Wacom do the work. So it's just a little something like that, you know, and maybe, you know, just a little bit on the edges. You know, that's all I'm doing here. You know, nothing too dramatic or anything. Because we do want some depth to it. Not everything is going to be hitting with the same intensity, you know. Down a little bit more, so we want more highlight up here than down here. Otherwise she's going to look like she has anatomy issues. All right, so that looks decent. Let's get a new layer going, and we'll do another pass. So let's get back to our soft brush on dissolve again. And back on the shape dynamics. And what the shape dynamics is doing, see how it kind of tapers off here at the edges? So if I push lightly, it'll be like really thin. If I push heavy, you know, I get like a lot thicker. So I can kind of control, you know, so I can have a little bit less to erase, you know, when I'm down here. But let me get rid of all that. Okay, back on white. I'm just going like, you know, where I really want that white to hit hard. So you can see like it's a lot more concentrated how I'm doing it now. Make it a little bit bigger here. Kind of spread that out a little bit more. And I'm just kind of barely dabbing down on that. Okay. And now let's go ahead and we'll do another Gaussian blur. Could we do 0.5. Yeah, I think that looks good. And again, you know, we'll go ahead and we're just building this up. So I'm gonna erase. And as you can see, I'm not erasing as much as I was before. And now we'll just do a new layer and just one more pass, just right there in the middle of these highlights, right? Or where the hottest spot is going to be. And this one we're not going to blur. But I am going to clean that up. That looks horrendous right here. I'll just erase a little bit of that business. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good, and then we can help sell it more. I mean, just do like a new layer so I can erase into it if I need to. That's a great thing about layers. You know, you just try out new things. Oops. Let me get back to normal. And now I'm just kind of hitting those with just a little bit of, you know, a little hot spot right there. It's just going to help bring it all together. Let me take off that shape dynamics on this. It's going to give it a little bit of just a little bit of a glow. And just erase a little bit around the edges here. So those look a little weird. That's why I'm doing this in layers, just so I can go through and kind of adjust a little bit more. I have a little bit more control over everything. All right, so that looks pretty decent. So I'm just gonna clean, let me just merge all this down. And I have like my skin layers here. You know, if you have flats, you can just go ahead and, you know, select your flats. I had it on a separate layer, so I was just making a selection out of that. Going on to my wet skin stuff and just inversing that selection and deleting. So you can see that it cleans up. You know, I had a bunch, you know, on her pet's hands and fingers and stuff. So just getting rid of that so we can take a better look. And now we got that done. What I might do on top of everything is maybe have, you know, like a glow layer. Let's try setting it to screen first and see how that looks. Maybe just grab, I want an orange. Maybe not like a really bright orange, maybe like something like this one. So you can see it's a yellowish orange, but more orange than yellow, if that makes sense. And now, you know, just soft airbrush, you know, just hitting those up. And that's just going to add, like we were looking at in this one, you know, to see like a little bit more yellow, you know, where it's really hitting. You know, and she is outside, and we got like the yellowish sky, so we'll see how this looks. Let's see, so back to where we started, and then where we finished with the wet skin. I think it looks pretty good. Now another take, let me just clean that up. All right. So another take I've seen, you know, people doing wet skin, which is a lot trickier. Sorry, I was just making sure that looked decent. Okay. So let me save this one. Right. So I got that one saved. Let's go back. I flatten those, and this is the skin. Okay. What people... This is a very advanced technique. I don't recommend it for everybody because it is tricky to pull off. Is just to use the dodge tool. And make sure when you're on your dodge tool, make sure it's set to highlights. And the reason why this is tricky is because if you're not too careful, let me see if I can duplicate it here. You get into too much banding. So you can see, you know, you got like these very, very bright colors. And now if I go to my CMYK safe mode, if you're coloring, like I usually just color in RGB, you can watch here at the top, so I'm coloring in RGB right here. If you hit Apple or Control Y, it goes to CMYK. I'm sorry, or is it Command on a PC? Sorry, it's been a while since I've done these videos. So yeah, I use Mac, so it's like, you know, Command Y. So yeah, I guess it'd be Control Y on PC. You know, it takes you into CMYK preview mode. But you can see my colors when I'm doing that. You know, if you're really focusing right here. Let me see if I can help you focus that. There we go. You can see how much those colors change. And what it'll do, if you're not too careful, it'll add a lot of green into this area. And then when it's printed, you can really, it'll just give you like a ring around it, and it really looks disgusting. So I don't really recommend this way. You know, it's better the first way I showed you. But I mean, you can get some decent, you know, results if you're very careful, or like, you know, you practice and you know what you're doing. You know, it is doable to do it this way. But you know, I know it's faster and everything, but just, I don't know. I always got better printed results the other way. And you know, I'm just sketching this in right now for you guys so you can see. And the reason why this works is this is more like an oily type of look, I suppose, than, you know, wet look. And the reason why this works, and like the key to it, is getting those really bright, hot, specular highlights on it. You know, it's going to give you that wet look. So, yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. Excuse me. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to me. Try to do these a lot. Well, I guess no matter what I do, it's going to be a lot more frequent than, you know, I haven't posted in 2 years. So, yeah, thanks a lot. It means a lot to me for everybody that stuck around for so long. You guys are the best. And if you have any questions or comments, you know, put them in the down there, and you know, I should check them out. Or I do have a Twitter now, so you can hit me up on that with any questions you guys might have, or video suggestions. You know, it always helps out. Some of that wrecking my skull, you know, think about what you guys want to learn about. If you have something, just you know, let me know. The Twitter, I'll put it in the description, but I believe it's Nathan_Lumm. Yeah, and I also have my Facebook fan page, and I'll put that on there as well. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I shall see you guys and gals soon. All right, bye-bye.